It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here.
On the road and hungry for a win against Anna's thing.
Well, guys, we know James.
Yeah, with that pump fake, he can get to the free throw line too, DA. There's just no answer. Bill in Houston, if there's one critique of James Harden's game, it's been his defense. But do you think that's changing a bit? Are we seeing some evolving in his game?
Definitely changing. First of all, he's playing defense now, which has been a revelation.
Jeff Bezdelic, I think, has really gotten his fingerprints on it.
Yeah, good name drop, too, by the way. I like that. Yeah, you know what changes your defense is being picked apart online and Twitter GIFs and YouTube clips and people on studio shows on big, giant HD screens pointing out that you didn't try on this and that you're a matador. And I think that there's been a shaming element of his defense that's actually been successful for him. And I wish we'd had that in the 80s for Dominique Wilkins and some of these other guys. Maybe if we had shamed Dominique Wilkins, maybe we would have played better defense.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. Gay and Aldridge are up front. Murray out there with AI. And it's DeRozan in at the 3. And he comes up with the deuce. Gay's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, he's like a fumbling banker right now, dropping dimes with ease. I like how well he led his teammate on that possession.
Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them, and they won the title.
How old were you in 72?
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not going to lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Cowens on that team?
Cowens, Havlicek,
Yep.
JoJo White.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. Was probably the most famous NBA game ever. The kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something. The triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half and the first overtime.
Oh, no.
But then woke up because everybody was standing the whole second overtime, so I had to get up.
Bill, the way that super teams are being put together right now, good or bad for the league?
I'm confused. I have been watching this league since I was a kid. We've always had super teams. There's never been an era where we didn't. What do people think the Jordan era Bulls were, and what do they think the Shaq, Kobe Lakers were? This is how the league is. I think what bothers people this time around specifically is that the Warriors won 73 games and they added Kevin Durant. Now, I get it. I get why it bothers people. On the other hand, your job as a franchise is to tilt the competitive advantage in any way you can toward your favor. They did a great job building their team. They did a great job building enough cap space for this year that everybody knew was coming, the summer of 2016. We knew the cap was going to jump. And they played it perfectly, and they got Kevin Durant out of it. He played it perfectly, too. He was on a team. He wasn't going to win the title in OKC. He wasn't going to win the title playing with Westbrook. Not to sound like a Durant apologist, but he wants to win a title and beat LeBron James. If you're going to do that, you're going to try to get on the best possible team you can.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. And, Bill, we were discussing how teams are constructed in recent years. You know, the changes in 2016 to cap space. How Kevin Durant landed with the Warriors.
I see the analogy that, it's like stacking a pickup game and just grabbing the best 4 guys and just beating people on a pickup court for 4 hours. But that's the thing. The league isn't a pickup game. The league, everyone operates by the same rules. And the Warriors...
Everybody had a shot at him.
Everyone had a shot. The Celtics had a shot. He didn't want to interview with the Lakers. The Knicks had cap space. They didn't have a chance. The Wizards had cap space. He was from Maryland. They didn't want to go there. So, I think the Warriors should get a little more credit for how smart they were with everything.
On the court right now for the Spurs, Gay and Aldridge are up front. AI is out there with Mills, and it's DeRozan in at the small forward. Free throw good, AI. Now we've seen some top prospects forgo college, enter the G League straight out of high school. What do you think is the future of the G League, and do you like where it sits right now?
I do. I wish they spent more money on salaries.
I agree.
I wish they blew it out. I mean, I think this is the first year we've had 30 G League teams. This should be the #1 place you'd want to go after high school. You should not want to go to college. You should want to go to a AAA awesome league that's set up.
And they're bringing kids up and down off that G League roster all the time.
It's just better, and you're going to have a better chance to succeed as a professional basketball player. You see the situation we're in now with the one-and-done guys. They go to college. They show up in September. They're playing all the way through till March. Whenever they get knocked out, they drop out of college. And they might last, till round 2 in the tournament, which is what, March 20th?
Right.
And they're out. So they've been in college for 6.5 months. How's that a good system? They didn't even finish 2 semesters. So I would much rather see the G League work, and I don't understand why they don't spend a little more on it and just make it like a force. I don't think the moves are that hard.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Hi, Kevin. Well, AI in their last time out against the Timberwolves had a huge game. He scored 18 points, and along with what he did on offense, he had a big defensive night as well. He flat out dominated. The other team threw waves of defenders at him, but nobody could slow him down. He'll be looking to carry that effort into tonight's game. Kevin?
Great, David. Appreciate it. Well, he set the bar pretty high for himself with that performance.
He did. But we know he's going to try to raise that bar again tonight. No matter how good he is, he's always thinking he can do better.
And the great players are never satisfied. We'll see what he does in the next one.
Now, here's AI. 10-point lead. This is their biggest. Down to 5 on the shot clock, and that one is good. That's now 8 points for Rudy Gay.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Yeah, they've gotten into a nice flow this quarter.
DeJounte Murray, he's checked in for San Antonio. The Rockets shooting their 3rd free throw shot of the game. Free throw dropped for Harden.
It tells you something about Harden that he's led the league in free throw attempts so many times. This man is always in attack mode.
And the shot goes in. Gay's got 10 points in the game.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
With this break, we have a chance to break down where the assist has been coming from tonight between the front and back court for the Spurs.
And their guards have led the way in that regard. The ball is in their hands, and credit to them. They're not just looking to get shots up. They're of the mindset to create great looks for everybody.
Hey, Bill, thanks for coming by. Fantastic stuff as usual. We really appreciate your time.
Appreciate being on. Go Celtics.
You can't root on these, Bill.
I'm absolutely rooting. That's my team.
And Brent, always cool, isn't it, to hear what Bill's thinking? He comes at things from a variety of angles.
Yeah, the pop culture stuff and the bits from personal life and his interaction around the game. He certainly has a passion for basketball, and it's great that Bill's adding some color to the audience's experience.
And again, the turnover by the Rockets. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
And when you shoot a high percentage from distance, that gives you momentum and really keeps the opponent.
And so we wrap up the first half. It's San Antonio. Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Rudy Gay having a dominant impact in this game.
Well, we saw in the first half, he has a nice mixture of moves down low, and they've been going to him.
Well, he's a volume scorer in the post, and right now the volume's at 11. So if you're not going to run doubles at him, we'll see if he can get more of that done in the second half.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And so in the game for the Rockets, the engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. E.J. Tucker is out there with Clint Capella, and it's Green in at the 3 spot. From 10 feet out, and it's AI with the bucket inside. AI's got the first points to start out the third quarter for San Antonio. Rockets trail by 14. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Harden with it. He has 5.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control. And James Harden, last season's MVP, the runner-up in 2015, actually won the players' vote for MVP that season. But last season, he took home the official hardware.
Hall finds Capella. Knocks it loose. And here we go. Murray heading to the hoop. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
3 for 3, and that's always a good way to start the second half.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And he's at 73% this year at the foul line. Adequate, but not spectacular.
They get a hand on it. Stolen by AI. "13 feet away." And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. AI's got 16.
And whatever the adjustments at halftime, they are looking really good right now.
Yeah, scratching my head trying to remember the last time that they missed. They're on an absolute tear.
Timeout called, the Rockets. Talk about what it means to be a good teammate, Brent. You've played with good ones. You've played with bad ones. I've always thought you were team first when you played.
Well, I appreciate that, Kevin. There's just an idea about what it is that you can contribute to the team. I think you always have to accentuate those ideals. Your approach on a daily basis has to be consistent. And if you're a starting player, it's one mentality. And if you're somebody that plays off the bench, you have to come to practice every day to push the guy that's in front of you and wait for your opportunity. But most of the time, it's that kind of consistency with which you come to work and the attitude of making sure that I want to make any kind of contribution I can for our team's success. That usually is a pretty good formula for a good teammate.
The Rockets with another miss.
Yeah, it just seems whatever they do, nothing's working right now to stop the bleeding.
I still think there's a chance you string a couple of big plays together and the tide can turn very quickly.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Harden kicks to Paul. Trying to find Capella, gets it to him. Back to Paul, just 5 on the clock. To end the run, the rebound by the Spurs. Aldridge has got 6 rebounds in the game.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
It's AI on the wing, guarded by Harden. AI right side. And it's James Harden with the rebound. And it's Harden with the ball for the Houston Rockets. Still looking for their first bucket of the second half. He gets it in there.
And with that basket right there, it brings an end to that 12-0 run by the Spurs.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Both teams deciding to change it up. AI outside, pass to Gay. He kicks it to DeRozan. Here's Murray. AI right side. And Paul pulls it down.
I give the defense a C+ on that possession, but still, I'm sure he's upset he missed.
On the court right now for the Spurs. Gay and Aldridge are up front. AI is out there with Murray. And it's DeRozan in at the 3 spot.
Well, continuing to light it up. AI's beaten everything the defense has thrown at him.
To the middle. And stolen by Aldridge. AI kicks to DeRozan. And good coming on the assist by AI. AI's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Houston's gotten in the groove from three-point range. They are 4 for 4 since the third quarter ended. Paul passes to Harden. Back to Paul. Fareed up top. Pass to Harden. Clock at 6. Houston needs to get a shot off. Tucker. The Rockets again can't hit. San Antonio with the ball. What a stretch they've got going here. 17-2. Kicks it out to Gay. AI left side. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Spurs.
What an effort in the transition game we've seen tonight from these guys. Really pushed the ball, and I think in doing so created a lot of pressure on the defense.
Definitely had a huge edge, and this is their DNA. When they run the ball and dictate the flow of the offense like we've seen here, these are the kinds of games they can have.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
And they will walk out of here feeling really good about themselves today, guys. A big win over a conference foe they'd split their previous 2 games with.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for AI.
That's amazing defense from him. Seemed to know exactly when to pounce on the passing lanes and predictive steals.
And this is how you close out a game, not taking any chances.
Yeah, you gotta be relentless in this game or the tide can turn on you. Not here, not tonight.
And it's Gordon missing. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. AI dishes to Aldridge. Basket is good. The assist from AI.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
Tonight they have stuck with what they do well, handling all the exterior pressure, and they're likely to come out on top here.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
I think it's been kind of cool to watch Austin Rivers play under his dad, Doc, a shifty combo guard with fantastic skills.
And he makes the first.
2 shots.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, all right, David, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Brent Barry,